Okay, I'm back. But I was feeling really kind of down because I have put so much time, effort, money into my education that I was pretty like, man, my education's going to waste. Oh no, it is not. You would be surprised how much you really do use your education in this sense. Um, I have I've remained very surprised at how big of a learning curve it is when you're going from a, you know, I guess an object like a vehicle to yourself. It's a lot different. And I have a lot of branding history in my, I'd say the last like 8 or so years, I've done a lot of branding. I'm really good at it, by the way. I can brand someone out when they tell me what they want, their end goal. I'm really good at finding their needs and doing that for them and putting it into their dreams and thoughts, or what's in their mind, can it into life, I guess, or creating that form or an emotion. But not when it comes to myself. Not only am I a Gemini and I'm scatterbrained all over the place on top of it, but I have gone through this journey, like a lot of which I'm going to get into later, and I do get into in some recent content I made. I haven't posted yet. I also was kind of waiting because I know there's been some outages on YouTube. There's also been, I posted about the Lahaina thing, which I really want to get into at some point, and they might flag this one, but I got like 1 view because of it. So, but I wanted to go into that some. This is a whole different deal. I mean, there's things that I posted really are not bad at all. My whole entire YouTube channel got flagged because I have my Reddit link in there, which is NSFW, not safe for work, by the way. So that means, and it doesn't show nothing. Like there's some cleavage at most, and it's very clean. Honestly, I think it's pretty damn near safe work, pardon my language. But they actually try to pull my channel because of that link. And I had to message them and say, I'm not posting anything on there. So, this isn't fair to me, for me to be, in trouble, whatnot. You're pulling my content down, which is primarily my family, my real life, a lot of my child. That doesn't make sense to me. Can you please elaborate on this? And I had a lot of problems actually getting someone to elaborate and talk to me, and they wouldn't even go into detail. They said, oh, we made a mistake, sorry, put my channel back up. So there's a lot of that, which I went very, very fine-tooth comb through all of the current YouTube changes, because they're making a lot, by the way, and there is nothing violating the guidelines, as well as Reddit. And on top of that, there was nothing violating the Google guidelines, which I want to get to that. This is stuff that you need to actually know about if you want to be successful on your journey in OnlyFans, if that's what you so choose to do, or anything that's going to be branding yourself. One of the latest updates before the bar for Google, which I haven't even got into yet. There's a Google updates consistently. I would say the 2 big ones probably biannually, but there's ones that consistently happen, and I can actually post links to those if you would like the resources. But the Google's pretty far in depth if you really dig into it. It's not just a search engine by any means, and it is what Bing, Yahoo, etc. pull their information with crawlers from. So whatever's on Google, you need to have right, because once it gets to those crawlers, good luck getting it down or getting it corrected. And that's gonna be all kinds of fun when it gets to those, because we'll get into that some other day. But as I was saying, there has been an update recently on Google that they basically said, hey, if your engagement on any of your platforms has totally tanked, we're changing the way we pull information, which means that they're kind of getting rid of SEO and keywording, by the way, on a lot of Google things, to go into this BARD thing, which I haven't figured out. And they're saying, and a lot of people, their engagement is their sales, their direct retail stores, etc., their appointments, their hair salons, whatever. They're saying, hey man, you might not be doing anything wrong. You might be doing it completely right. So don't touch anything for 30 to 45 days on a long in 60 days. And then if it doesn't go back up or reach what it was, then change something. So they're basically telling everyone, including myself, i.e. that you're just going to be dead out there in the water. So if you're getting, and I've saw a lot of people saying they're getting no appointments, they're getting no likes, no follows, no nothing, no store visits. and they're saying, I know this is kind of what you live off of and survive from. This is your income, but sorry, dude. Cross that when you get to these days, then take a look at it. So it's quite interesting because I have seen some significant changes in my YouTube channel and some other ones. And that's what all these outages and things are from. And there's a lot of that's in it. They're saying like I have multiple SEO certifications and keyword certifications. They're saying that's not even going to matter anymore. So it's going to be interesting in watching this. And these, like I said, these are things that you need to actually know for your OnlyFans or any platforms like Fansly or Slushy or any of that to be successful. You need to actually pay attention to this stuff. And, the words, like I would suggest if I was you, if you're using hashtags, that you need to go on, because on one of my Instagrams has about 5,000 followers, and I have recently gone in and been slowly working myself up to my current stuff, removing banned hashtags. And I have actually, for the first time in, I would say, a year, started getting followers on it. It's been dead in the water. I went from having a couple hundred likes on each photo to 3. It's that shadow banned. And it's wild because when you get into it, I'll say Merry Christmas on there or whatever. You need to do every single time you get a post. This is very important. You'd be shocked. Go in the Google bar and say banned or shadow banned hashtags for whatever month it is, i.e. September 2023. And look at that list and make sure you're not using those words, because you'll be very shocked. There'll be things in there like single mom, 4th of July, whatever holiday it might be. There'll be things like cat. Just hustle, workflow, new shirt. You'd be shocked what it is, but there's always a lingo behind a lot of that stuff that we would never think of in the forefront, because most of us don't think like that. But some predators and other things are thinking, and scams of whatever are thinking that way. And that'll be a lingo that they use to find or to communicate with each other. So definitely take a look at that. It is really important that you do, because if you get shadow banned, once you get nicked for shadow banned, you kind of stay on that list and you don't really fully escape it ever. And that's another thing on your Instagram. If you have any type of hits for being flagged for anything, and a lot of times they won't say it, but you need to go look at your Instagram's your actual profile's health on it. You need to look at your support inbox or whatever for Instagram and Facebook, because they are owned by the same people. You need to look at those things, because there may not even be any visual thing at the forefront, but you may actually have some violations that you were never notified of. And it could be one of the things where I was on my Instagram, I was like, oh, killing them in Domino's. Yeah, I got flagged for that. They pulled it down and totally gave me it was limited abilities on my account for a month for that, for putting a domino game I was playing. So you need to be very careful, because that does affect your engagement on your OnlyFans or anything that you're trying to have on the internet. So that's a big thing. Words you're saying, I accidentally cussed in this one. I would suggest not doing that. Being very careful about those things that you're saying being negative words or words that could be twisted into hate. Be very careful with that stuff. Very careful. A lot of the things where it's like follow me, or share, or S for S, those things also get shadow banned. So I would suggest those being something you're aware of and kind of staying on top of it, because I have a lot of my dog on there, and on my Instagram it says stud on there, or my little baby, or so. I can't even remember what I was saying, like dog mom or something like that. Those are actually shadow banned words. So the removal of those words alone, it really helped me a lot. I think I've gained 100 followers in the last 2 weeks since I've done it. Shocking, but it matters, because your post is completely removed, and they'll never admit that they do it, but they do. Another thing you need to be aware of too is that there is an actual science to this. There is a science of, I got cool friends on Facebook. I'm like, yeah, I like that stuff. I like it. That's cool. You're funny and I like your stuff. So I go and support my friends. Yeah, you can't do that. I've actually been shadow banned for liking too many people's stuff. So there's an actual, as of currently, I haven't checked it last month, but last month to that point, it was 15, you can like 15 things, unlike, you can post follow or unfollow. The magic number is 15 an hour. So you have to think, if you have a Facebook account that is linked to an Instagram or multiple Instagrams like I do, because I also do run a bit like a business, I'll get out later. Basically, it's just your tangibility on the internet. So it would be a good way to say it. Your web presence. I do have a company on the side that I have since backed off of and been doing my OnlyFans. I do find it much more rewarding personally and less monotonous on my OnlyFans to do that. But if you have multiple accounts, like slave accounts as they call them, on your Instagram and your Facebook, I mean, I have probably 20 Instagrams I have that are all for businesses, and I run them as the business owner is what it looks like on there. And I have multiple Facebook groups, multiple Facebook pages, like pages. They put all those into one basically. So if I go on every account and go and like somebody's stuff, I hit my magic number for the hour, and so I'm shadow banned. So it's very important to know those little things that, I mean, I don't say, you definitely don't say on Instagram, don't say OnlyFans. They suggest that you should because they'll pull up in the keywords, but guess what? They'll rip your account and they will shadow ban you, because when I went from that whole suggestion of them saying, say that you're an OnlyFans creator, go ahead and put that in your Instagram. Oh, no. It killed me. I went from my engagement being about, I would say per day, 1,300 people to about 30. Literally. One day it went to 9. And nothing had changed except for in my bio, I put that I was a new OnlyFans creator, and I started discussing it in there. I don't put the direct link. I always do my link tree, but I started actually talking about it a little bit more. I wouldn't suggest doing that. They do. I wouldn't if I was you. I would suggest, however, following OnlyFans and occasionally unfollowing and refollowing them. You will get more engagement. So that's just been my findings so far. I know I'm all over the place. I was going to do a get ready with me, but I've been talking the whole time, kind of like all over. That's what I've learned on that. I'll kind of get into other subjects later. Previously, I actually recorded one of these that was a little bit more vague on some of those things, but I wanted to be more direct about it just because this is something that I have noticed no one's talked about so far when it comes to like my OnlyFans success, whatever. So I hope that helps you, and have a good day. Bye-bye.